Everything in life is risky. Going to college, getting a safe route job is not as safe as you think it is.
I was a neurosurgeon for almost 10 years, and I quit.
This is the first morning of my life without a real job.
There are countless videos online of people saying they've reached amazing heights. They've become doctors, lawyers, they've done what you think is the successful move. And they're quitting their jobs, they're moving into vans, and they're finally reconnecting with themselves and living the lives that they've always wanted. Imagine if they didn't waste the 10 plus years of going to school and attaining that job, attaining that success, to realize they don't even want it in the first place. The biggest thing you need to do right now, if you're someone who's in a dead-end job that you hate, or if you're a young kid who's just getting out of high school trying to figure out what they want to do with their life, you need to connect with yourself. You have to understand that there is a matrix built around us. There is a system and structure that is trying to get you to take certain actions, to think certain things, to feel certain ways, and it's all consciously created. You really need to break down your identity, yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, and figure out who you actually are in the first place. And it's sad, it's insane that we have to even do this. But we were born in a reality that is trying to take advantage of us. It is your job as a conscious individual to sit down and actually deprogram yourself. Look, from a young age, you were put in a system that told you what to do, to sit down, to shut up, to do your homework, to think like this, these thoughts are wrong, these thoughts are correct. And you stayed inside that system for probably on average 12 years. And that's just the education system. Think about the programming that your parents gave you. A lot of the times we're born with like ancestral trauma that's deep inside of us. But not only that, we're getting all of the gunk, all of the shit from our parents that they didn't heal. All of that's landing on us. So you have your parents that are programming you in ways that are hopefully good, but most likely bad because nobody's perfect. You have the school system that's creating a horrible process of thinking that is isolating you, thinking that there's only one right answer, you can't work with people, confining yourself into just this very shitty version of yourself that has no creativity, no expression. You're scared to talk, you're scared to ask stupid questions. The school system, I think, truly ruins people. Next, we have a religion that's trying to confine your connection with God, and I don't care if you believe your religion is the right one, you have full capabilities to do so. But let's just say yours is the right one and 99% of other people are being taken advantage of, being misled to believe something that's not true. How much is that confining their human experience, their ability to connect to God, to reality, if they're confined in a structural system that isn't true? So we have religion, we have media, we have government, we have social trends that kind of take over and some people fall victim to because they have no sense of self before the trend happened. It's kind of insane. So I want you to be able to sit down and actually find yourself. Who are you? What moves you? What makes you happy? What makes you sad? What makes you want to cry? Really find the answers to these things, because when you're looking at a map, the first thing you need to figure out is where you are and where you need to go. Right now, we're on the where you even are phase, because if you don't know where you're at, you're definitely not going to be able to make it to where you're trying to go. And it makes me really sad that most people don't know the answer to either of those questions. So the best way to find yourself and think of who you are is look back at your childhood. What naturally came into your life? In my eyes, this is God trying to show you signs of the things that you excel at, the things you're good at, the kind of purpose, mission, and reason that you're here in this life in the first place. So look around, think of your past. What were you drawn to when you were little? What did people always say about you? What did you have fun doing? What scared you? Really analyze your past, because I think it gives you clues to where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to do in this life. Next thing you need to do is learn meditation. You have to understand how to cut the static out of your brain and actually sit down and have conscious thoughts and let inspiration, let God, your highest self, the universe, whatever you want to call it, talk to you. You need to learn to listen. Quit thinking all the time. Quit letting this static, these thoughts, these emotions always consume and control you. Once you learn to meditate, and hopefully we've understood where we were in the past, we have some ideas of what we did when we were younger. Next, you need to learn how to reprogram yourself, actually consciously creating a new sense of identity, a new sense of belief systems, ones that we create, not ones that were just handed to us. The only real and genuine way I know how to do this is by watching other people, consuming real content, reading real foundational books, and genuinely waking up every day with the thought process of how can I better myself? How can I connect with myself? How can I become the person I know I'm supposed to be? Because if you wake up every day with that frequency, that energy, the universe, the world around you is going to respond to it. And it's going to give you hints, little tastes of inspiration, little paths that you can follow and explore and start to learn and really test yourself and figure out who you even are. Because the universe is built for expansion. It wants growth. It wants experience. So the universe is genuinely benefiting off you growing, all in the name of evolution. God wants you to grow. God put you here for a reason. There's a purpose behind your life, and it's your job to go out and fulfill it. The sad thing is we're so caught up in our own programming, our own static in our brain, all these different systems that are trying to control us, that we can't really connect with God anymore. We can't hear those whispers of inspiration. We can't connect with that emotion of our highest self because everything else in this world is designed to stop that form of communication. So I'm gonna have a link below this video where you can actually see the books that I've read that have genuinely changed my life. There's a list of like 30 on there. Honestly, just read through them, maybe randomly pick one, see what feels like it draws you in the most, listen to that feeling, and just go out and read that one. I genuinely wouldn't be who I am today without reading these books, consuming tons of content on mindset, motivation, personal development, and actually just trying to tap into myself. So that process took me like 2 to 3 years of reading books in my mom's bathtub, but it created who I am fundamentally today. Next, once we have a new set of belief systems, we really need to figure out what our identity is going to be. Who do we want to become? How do we want to impact the world? What does our highest self actually even look like? In what ways does he think and act? And how do people feel when they're around him? What impact does he have? What car does he drive? How much money is he making? What type of lifestyle does he have? Does he inspire and motivate people? Or are you someone that just wants to go out into the woods and write books and inspire people through that way? There's millions of different ways that you can connect with who your highest self actually is. Something I recommend is look at people that have inspired you from the past. Try to figure out why they inspired you. What kind of hint was there of things that you can do and bring into your own life that are actually genuine and real? Make sure you're not just chasing other people and looking up to people as like false idols. The process of honing in your vision is not really an easy one. It's going to take a long time. It's not going to be something that just boom lands in your head instantly. But again, I think looking in your past is going to be something that gives you hints and kind of helps you figure out and design who that higher self is. What do they accomplish? What have they done in their life, and why are they the highest version of yourself? What do they do on a day-to-day basis? And most importantly, how can you captivate this vision, this highest self, and put it on a board that you can look at every single day with images, words that really encapsulate who your highest self is? So anytime that you're sitting working on your computer, leveling up your skills, trying to become a better person, or just doing your work, you can constantly be looking at that as the North Star. So anytime there's doubts, fears, or these negative things that come inside your heart, your mind, your soul, you can just look at that board, connect with that vision, and let everything disappear. Because I promise you, anything that you put on a vision board has potential to become reality. Just because someone else has achieved something doesn't mean that you can't. This world is incredibly expansive and way bigger than you would ever imagine. There is more than enough to go around, and I truly believe that abundance is a birthright for every single human on planet Earth. So your ability to actually achieve what's on this board is going to be dictated by one thing, and that is faith. Your belief, your emotions. You have to look at that board and attach a sense of identity to it. You have to look at that board and actually believe that you're that person right now and feel it. It needs to come into your heart, into your mind, into your whole body. And if you can connect with that board while you're doing your work, while you're progressing in your skills of whatever avenue you want to pursue, that is going to speed up the process of how fast you achieve it. Let's think of a 60-year-old that's been in blue-collar construction work his entire life. Maybe if you summed up all his money, he's made a couple $1,000,000 in the 40 years that he's dedicated to construction. Then on the other hand, there's some 15-year-olds out there that are creating Snapchat accounts that are making millions of dollars in a year. The reason I bring that up is because let's think about how much work has been put in on both sides, because a lot of people want to say it's work, it's action, it's discipline that gets you huge results. This 60-year-old man has spent 40 years in construction. He's probably made maybe $2 million in that entire time frame, and he is waking up at 6 in the morning, working the most ass job you possibly could work. It's physically exhausting. You're out in the heat. You're genuinely damaging your body going through this job. And after 40 years, you don't even have enough to show compared to a 15-year-old that had an opportunity. Obviously, there's luck involved. Obviously, there's a million different things that take place. But if you have that vision board, you know where to go, and you're imbuing that vision board with the belief systems and the emotions that you can achieve that, you can become that, that's when you start getting these little luck opportunities coming your way. Because I promise you right now, that person working construction has no belief systems, no sense of identity, no drive or something they're striving for. They have no clue where they're at. They have no clue where they want to go. That's why it doesn't matter how hard they work. Hard work only actually provides growth once you have those other things in place, like the vision board, the identity, the belief systems, and all those emotions to actually build something. Hard work is like fuel. If you're a heat-seeking missile that has no ability to detect heat, but you have a ton of fuel, you're not going to be able to go anywhere. Meanwhile, where someone else could have way less fuel, way less hard work, but they have a ton of different detectors that allow allows them to follow the heat and get to that end place that they want to go, that's the person who's going to be successful. I feel like a lot of people think that success is like launching a rocket ship. You have to have the end destination, you have to have all the math perfectly, nothing is going to go wrong, and if it does go wrong, everything blows up in your face, all the astronauts on the spaceship die, and that's just really not the case. Having a successful business or just reaching success in any avenue of life is a lot like driving a car. You pick your vehicle, and that's another topic. There's a ton of vehicles that are extremely slow, they take forever. Like, you can hop in a little canoe, or you could get in a jet boat and go 200 miles an hour, or you could get in a plane, go 600 miles an hour. You have so many opportunities where failure isn't going to end anything. You just have to hit a U-turn, you just have to fill up with gas, you just have to repair the car if it gets damaged, and you can still go on the same path you were going on anyway. Nobody's going to die, nothing's going to blow up, you're going to be fine. And again, I could ramble so hard about how you need to choose the right vehicles, because construction is obviously a little canoe, rowboat, you're going 2 miles an hour, you're never getting anywhere. So you really have to be careful in choosing which vehicle you step into to actually build out these systems, these beliefs, these structures, these emotions, and make sure that that vehicle has the potential to take you where you want to go. But that's my ramble. I had no idea what I was going to even talk about in this video. I hope you genuinely got some information, some value out of it. If you're ready to take action, this video inspired you, then definitely make sure you go check out my 18-hour dropshipping course. It's 100% free. I spent almost a year building it. I go over everything I learned from starting dropshipping in like 2016, 2017 to the point now where I've made probably $4 to $6 million in revenue on dropshipping. And I promise you, the course is incredibly strong. I teach about all the stuff I talked about today, plus all the technical stuff, all the work stuff, so you can actually get there. Also, if you want a sense of community throughout this process, so you're not going on this journey alone, I do have a paid community group where everyone in there is doing their dopamine detoxes. They have their vision boards set, they know where they want to go, and they're working to get that success through dropshipping and e-commerce. So if you're the type of person that's been locked in the office, just trying to work, just trying to self-improve, maybe you've cut off all the friends and you need a sense of community, I really recommend checking it out. That's how I went through like 6 years of my journey, and I promise you, having a sense of community, having people around you can network with is an absolute game changer. And if you genuinely want to join the community group, I want to give you 50% off. There should be a link below this video to come join the community group at checkout. Just make sure you use code FRIENDS. Thank you so much for watching. I genuinely love you. I'm rooting for you. I'm proud of you, and I hope you see success in all of your future endeavors.